Hi, I'm Dustin Perry, CEO of Kingfisher Metals. We're traded on the TSX Venture under KFR, focused on exploration for copper and gold in British Columbia, and currently focused on our Highway 37 project within the Golden Triangle.
Dustin, good to see you. We're getting a quick update today. Obviously, things are starting to move a little bit in the market, little green shoots we're seeing. More importantly, you've raised some money. Better tell us, where's the money come from? And more importantly, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, so today is August 2nd, expected to close tomorrow on the 3rd. It's going to be around just shy of $3 million. So the money is coming from pre-existing shareholders. It's a pretty tight shareholder structure. We did not have to go to any flow-through funds or anything like that. It took a little longer than I had hoped to do this raise, but that's because we were very adamant about where the money was coming from. We do have a new Australian fund, Lowell Resource Fund, which is traded on the TSX, that's coming in, as well as the pre-existing institutions, plethora and commodity capital out of Europe. Good money coming in. It's all critical metal charity flow through or critical metal flow through. So it all needs to be spent on exploration. We are underway on our drill program at our Highway 37 project. So camp's already been built. Drill pads are being built. The drill's on site and it's getting flown up to the drill pad on Monday and should be turning that day.
Right. Okay. But tell me this, right? So some people are looking in at this thing, we're thinking, well, hey, we were onto something good last time out, nice high grade numbers, but that you decided to kind of, pull the plug, call it a day on that asset and, swing over to BC. Remind me what it is about this project, which is better than the last project, and why this thing is more, I guess, more likely to be successful as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, so Gold Range is a great project. We did have, the market didn't reward us, but we did have really good results. As a geologist, you can say, if you can go out and drill those if you can hit 100 gram meter, which is really the benchmark for a grassroots discovery, we did that on our second drill program. So pretty significant results. We weren't getting rewarded for it though. And part of the rationale for moving into the new project is we wanted more exposure to copper. I still am a firm believer that gold is going to do well, but it's a no-brainer that copper is going to do well. And majors are scouring the Golden Triangle. We secured this deal prior to around the time of Newmont doing their acquisition of Newcrest. With that in mind, Newmont controls a lot of the Golden Triangle now. Same with Teck. I could easily see there being other companies coming in and trying to get a stakehold. And we have one of the largest land packages controlled by a junior, but there's lots of land packages controlled by juniors. This one sits right adjacent to the highway. So from a development standpoint, we're sitting in a perfect location. You can see the high tension northwest transmission line that powers the Red Chris mine. You can see that from where we're going to be drilling this summer. So I think that sets us apart. The other thing that sets us apart, and which is why this project made sense to us, is our Vice President of Exploration, well-regarded porphyry and epithermal expert in the Golden Triangle. She did her master's degree on the KSM project, which is the largest undeveloped copper gold deposit in the world. We've got very similar rocks, same ages on our project. The clues look very, very similar. It's just albeit earlier stage, but there is evidence of good economic grades already in historic drilling. So this is early stage exploration, but it's not grassroots like we were doing at Gold Range. There's already clear cut evidence, 3 deposits. We're looking to find new ones and also expand upon the ones that are already there. So I think it's less risky than what we were doing before, and we've got the right team. Like, we really have the niche sorted for this project.
Right, that's Gail Febo you're talking about, who was on Brace Jack and Glory Creek. As I say, highly regarded. Let's talk about the money. Obviously, it's not a whole bunch of money, but it's enough to kind of get things going. You're going to have, obviously, your G&A. So how much is allocated to this first drill program? What's that convert to in terms of dollars or meters?
So we've got approximately $1 million of hard dollars that we can use for G&A in the bank here. And we've got a supportive shareholder that's willing to exercise some warrants to give us a bit more breathing room on the G&A front. Warrants that are coming through this financing. So the total of this financing, the just shy of $3 million, that's going entirely into the ground at Highway 37. Gail and I were already there doing some work. We've got a couple really experienced mappers coming. One that her research down at Lahire down in the Southwest Pacific. Another Jeff Kaiba, who created the red line that a lot of people referred to in the Golden Triangle. He's going to be up on our project this year as well, plus Gale. So doing a lot of groundwork, working up other targets, but the main focus is going to be the 2,500 meter drill program, targeting southwest of the historical Mary Zone. The last drill hole at the Mary Zone in 2019 was 270 meters of 0.7 gold equivalent from surface. We've got multiple other targets. Cliff, for example, is a porphyry where they drilled one hole. They graded it was about a 190 meter drill hole. Bottom 80 meters graded 0.11 copper, and it was trending towards 0.2 copper by the end of it. Gail and I went out there, looked at that drill hole, looked at the historical core, looked at what they hit, and we said, oh, this doesn't look amazing what they hit. And we walked one valley over and found an incredibly beautiful zone of stockwork over, I believe it was about 70 meters horizontal distance, up to 4% chalcopyrite. So that would put it at around 0.5% copper. Beautiful looking rock, the kind of thing that you see that. And I've been in the pit at Red Chris. It looks very similar. It looks like an ore body. So that's never been drilled. And it's got that flanking later intrusion that was 0.1, 0.2 copper beside it. So that's the kind of thing we're testing this year. And that's going to be our first drill target. I showed some of those rocks to some other geologists I know, and they immediately wrote checks into our financing. So we're really excited about that. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's good endorsement indeed. So just in terms of the targeting, you kind of explained where you're going and why. Is there budget left over for identifying other targets, or is this a kind of you're going to hit it hard and strong and hope that it works out? Because like I say, if you there's sort of a bit of like if it doesn't kind of work out, that's kind of two strikes and you're out sort of territory, isn't it? Or how do you give yourself a chance of success if the drill bit doesn't actually deliver for you this on the first pass?
There's 3 deposits, like known deposits on this project. Mary Zone is the area we're focused on. We believe that has the potential to have the largest, from the data we have now, the largest porphyry deposit near surface. It's also permitted. There's an in-holding claim that we also have, the Hank project, which we acquired from Golden Ridge Resources. They drilled the Williams discovery, which I think they drilled something like a 320 gram meter drill hole. I forget the exact, or 300 gram meter, maybe it was 320 meters of 0.9 gold equivalent, something in that ballpark. A really nice drill hole. Came out the same day as the GT Gold saddle discovery. So it got overshadowed by an even better porphyry, but it only saw about 6,000 meters of drilling. It's open in multiple directions, and then it's adjacent to the Hank system, which, Hank's had excellent results. It's had 12 gram gold equivalent over 20 meters, many different drill holes, many untested targets. It's a 6 kilometer long epithermal system with porphyry targets underneath it that have never been tested. So that area wasn't permitted for this summer, which in my opinion is actually a benefit to us. It gives us a bit more time to get boots on the ground, really come up with a 3D model for that area and put our best foot forward next year. So what I'm getting at is if we were to completely strike out this year, we've got 2 other excellent, more advanced systems to focus on next year, plus all the other regional work we do, elevating targets and trying to find new ones. But then we're also testing 3 different porphyry systems this year. It's not like it's just one. We're going to drill a few holes around Mary where it's open from the last, that 290 meters of 0.7. We're going to try to add at least 100 meters of strike to that and test a few other concepts that might grow it exponentially. And then the Mary root zone is a separate target that might actually be related to Cliff. We need to drill it and see if it's connected. And then there's Cliff. So there's 3 areas we're going to focus on drilling this year. Any one of those could hit a large porphyry system. And if all of them fail, we still have excellent upside on the other targets for next year. So that's one of the things we really liked about this project was there was a lot of, contingencies built in within it. There's, a lot of potential to make multiple discoveries on this project. It really does look like a porphyry epithermal district. And it's not going to be a one-hit wonder here, but we could have an exceptional season this year just with a small program alone because mineralization is coming to surface.